let's try this again because now guitar has calmed down. So we'll just start the entire video over. It doesn't matter that I've already have a video of 15 minutes. We're gonna do it all again. Hello everybody, I'm Anna, I'm one of the two mythical unicorns. Welcome to our channel and to this video. It is great to have you here. Today we're doing a wrap-up video, and if you're wondering why it's coming in the middle of April, it's because life happened. And we're doing both February and March wrap-up because I wanted to share what I've been reading. So, we'll get right into it. For the January wrap-up, I finished with Blood and Honey by Shelby Maureen. Not sure how it's pronounced, but I said that I would be reading part 2, and I did, and I really enjoyed it. It's about a woman who is a witch, or maybe she's more like a girl, considering her age. Doesn't matter. She's a witch, and she's sort of living criminal life, stealing some stuff, and that is how she gets by. She's running from something, and then we have the main character, and he's sort of a witch hunter, police kind of thing. I don't remember what the type of profession is called, because names. Their paths cross and things happen. And I really enjoyed this. I know there are some people that haven't enjoyed it, but I really did. I know, like, the part of history where you used to burn women at the stakes because they might be witches. Not a happy part for women. Not good times. But in this story there are several female characters that are really big and important for the story, that are doing their own thing and are doing it for different reasons, and it's just a lot of female empowerment, even though they are sort of persecuted. Then we have The Secret of the Book Cupboard. It's a Swedish book. I translated the title myself. And it's by Frida Schibeck, and it's a feel-good story, and I really enjoyed it. There are 2 timelines, so it's the present, where this woman comes to visit her grandmother because her grandmother is not doing too well, and she sort of contemplates her life while fixing up the house that her grandmother lives in, and she finds these notes, diaries, that tell the story of when her grandmother was young, and that takes place during the Second World War and in Sweden. So that was very interesting to read. I find it very interesting to read about that part of history. It was something very horrible that happened, but I find it very interesting to read about, and I just really enjoyed this book. It was like I was looking for some feel-good romance type of thing, and then I got some history like as a bonus, and really enjoyed it. To any Swedes that are watching, I highly recommend this book. And then we have The Book Festival of Swedonia by Lily N, and I read it in Swedish, so I don't know if that is the proper title. Michelle will probably put a picture of it here, and you can tell how wrong I am. And I also don't know if that is how you pronounce the author's name, but we try our best here. Names are not our thing here. It's about a woman who wants to start a book festival in the town of Swedonia, and she does some research, and then we have this actor. She's not active anymore, but she used to be a really big actor, and now she's a bit older and she lives sort of outside Swedonia. And then we have these boys that are in college, and one of them has had a stalker and their relationship is kind of scarred by this. There are a lot of things going on. The main thing is they want to put together this book festival in Swedonia, and they're considering the length of the book. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, and sometimes it felt like there were parts missing. The flow wasn't really there, because we were there and then we were there and then we were there and then we were back there and then there, and then all in all it was a good story. And halfway through I found out there are actually 4 short parts that take place before this that were sort of a Christmas calendar thing. So maybe it hadn't felt like that if you read those prior. But all in all, a good story that I enjoyed. Not the best thing I've read, but not the worst either. And then we have With Albert in the Backseat by Homer Hickam. And this is an almost true story about a man, his wife, and her alligator. And it's about Elsie, who married Homer, and then she got an alligator as a wedding gift by like an ex. After like 2 years, she realizes that yeah, the alligator might not belong in this coal mining town, and they go out on a road trip to bring him to Florida. So they drive across country with Albert in the backseat, and then there's a rooster, and a lot of things happen to them. Like a lot of crazy things happen to them. And I really enjoyed the book, like the first half of the book, and I read that in like 1 or 2 days, and I found it really interesting and entertaining. But then halfway through I sort of lost it and I don't think that is the book's fault. I think I was just really craving some fantasy, and so I sort of skimmed the last few chapters because I just wanted to be done so I could move on. If this is the type of book you enjoy, I think I think you would really enjoy it. It is funny and provoking, and it takes place in like the 1920s or 1930s, something like that. So it's a different time, which you also can tell by like how certain people are treated. But yeah, that was that one. And then we have The Bone Witch by Rin Shupeko. I don't know if that is how you pronounce it. Sorry. And I think the author is from the Philippines, because I wanted to branch out. I did not just want to read American and British authors. I felt like I should try something else. I went for this because, you know, fantasy, that's my thing. So, you know. And the magic system is really cool, and I enjoyed that part of the book. And there are some other things that, like, it's not romantic love that drives the female main character, which is happens a lot of the time. Not as much anymore. There are more, you know, powerful female characters. All in all, I felt like there were things that were missing. It was hard to follow the red thread throughout this book. I don't know if that was just me, if I was unfocused or something, but I know that there are other people that have said that this book had potential but did not really follow through. And I'm not gonna read part 2 of it, which says a lot, because I'm big on follow through. Like, even if I don't love something, I have a tendency to just continue. With this one, I won't. I'm not gonna pick up the second part because I barely finished this one. It's a magical world, it's a girl, and there is a war, and her brother, who she's very, very close to, dies, and then he is sent home, his body is sent home, and she accidentally wakes him from the dead, and that is how they found out she is a bone witch, and she is taken away to be trained and to learn how to use her powers, and the resurrected brother comes along. It was a very, very cool premise, but I feel like there are some parts lacking. Then we have Peace Talks by Jim Butcher. it's the Dresden Files. I've mentioned the Dresden Files a few times on this channel, but during the period of this channel, I think this is the first time I've read the Dresden Files, because it's been a while since the book before that was released, and this one came out summer of 2020, and now I finally had the time to read it. With reading this, I remembered like how funny he is. Like, he is so funny. Like, there are dark things going on, but he still manages to put the humor in there without it being weird and wrong. Like, damn, these are some good books. And then we have Battleground. This one was released like in October or November, so they were released very closely and they sort of fit together. Because usually in the Dresden Files, when the one ends, the next one takes up like a year later or something like that. Time passes. This one picks up right after this one, like they are still standing on the same boat. It has like no time has passed. This one is very interesting, but there's not a lot of action. You know, it's a lot of build up. Very enjoyable to read though. Like, not saying that it's an introduction that is you just have to get through. It was very easy to read. He is a very good writer. But this one is the action part. It's about Harry Dresden. If you haven't read the Dresden Files, so it's about Harry Dresden, who is a wizard, and he starts up his own PI investigation, you know, firm, and he works kind of closely with the police that sometimes get weird cases, and he helps out. It's sort of like Harry Potter, that kind of style, that there is magic, some people know about it, but in general people don't know that there is magic. It's just ordinary world. If you read this, you know what happens in chapter 22 and 23. I am so mad and so sad. Like, I continued and I'm gonna read the next part, but that did not make me happy. Like, I not happy. All in all, it's a good book. Like, there are a lot of good things in here, but chapter 22 and chapter 23 broke my heart. I don't really know how to move on from that. You know, I'll have to, because, you know, this is a book and it's not real life and it's not acceptable to hang on. Still excited for the next part. Have no idea when it's gonna come, but you know, I will read it and I will probably enjoy it, because I've enjoyed every single one of these. I don't know how many there are there. This is like part 18, book 17. So, you know, I've read 17 books of this series and it is still great. That is what I read in February and March. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you have read any of these books, let me know down below what you thought about them. Do you agree with me? Disagree? What was your favorite parts? Something you hated? Like chapter 22 and 23 in Battleground. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. And until next time, bye!